Liesa was never trusted, but she was actually good. Just kidding, it's not that simple this time. Liesa is actually a very broken character and I love it. Let's dive deep into the character of this forgotten archangel of Innistrad. Angels on Innistrad were centered around the color white, although there were 4 kinds or flights of angels, each with their archangels in one other color. Gisela, who was red, Bruna, who was blue, and Sigarda, who was green as well as white, were already seen, but black used to be just the color of evil, so Liesa was an angel that supposedly sided with demons. And for plot purposes, she was soft away and explained as being dead in the previous stories of Innistrad. Let us look at the 3rd returned angel on this channel. Liesa has 2 cards, one from Commander Legends, one from Midnight Hunt. Both cost 2, a white and a black, showing us that she is probably more white aligned. Her first card let you play her as a commander, where your command cost was 2 life instead of 2 mana. Other than that, she was a 5/5 flying lifelink angel that lets players lose 2 life for each spell cast. Why does she do this? I think it's just because she dealt with demons, because that's all we knew about her at this point. It is literally all Wizards had released about her at this point. The art here features her pre-mending version, where we see her basking in the light of morning, which has nothing to do with dusk at all. She flies tall and proud, while she does not care about appearance or being proud at all. And I think we just wanted a generic version of Liesa at this point. The art looks more amazing than a generic angel, because Slawomir Maniak chose a great positioning and made this card flow very naturally. In her second new card, we see a more honest depiction of what Wizards of the Coast thinks of this angel. This is an angel that was forgotten. Mind you that the art definitely does not fit well with her new story. This card has her lose a power, but whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they exile it, showing that Liesa has control over the dead and knows how to let them rest forever. Her coolest ability lets you return your creatures that died to your hand at the end of turn, showing that not only has she now returned from death, she can return her followers from it as well. This art from Dimitri Brumak shows her losing some of her feathers. It shows us that she has been weakened, and it seems to tell us that she doesn't like being forgotten. This last part is not true, because she doesn't mind being forgotten, and straight after being resurrected, she actually feels revitalized and more in place than ever. Again, I don't think this is about the artist here. I think the design was just not yet clear and the story was written separately from the art description. We do not know anything about Liesa from the first stories of Innistrad, but in Midnight Hunt she gets her own story. It starts with a late tanner named Ugly. Her home was just out of town, because her work brought stench. She lost her husband and son in a fight against ghouls. After losing them, a ghoul caller resurrected her family. Ugly could not stand the sight of her family as ghouls, so she took up 2 friends. The 3 gathered in a clearing multiple times, performing rituals to the buried lord. They sacrificed goats night after night. This one particular night was a windy night, but eerie sounds meant nothing on Innistrad, because danger was everywhere. Still this night, after sacrificing another innocent goat to this unnamed lord, the wind fell silent. Ugly could feel a chill deeper than icy wind run through her spine slowly. The 3 had carved impressive lines out of blood into the dirty ground. Still at this moment nothing happened. It was not easy to sacrifice in times like these. A goat was more than the villagers could miss. 3 villagers was not much of a guild to raise funds for either. This night was Ugly's last chance before a winter of hunger would absorb her, and it was not like the buried one who'd bring food back for her. She just needed the Lord to save her family. So, in tears, she lay on the ground as her friends left, ready to have it all end. Time passed in arbitrary chunks until Ugly heard a sound, something other than wind, which had not still picked up. It was a woman with dark hair who wore a spear of avicin, not the usual one. This one seemed old and ever sharp, which none of the old sigils were. But this definitely was not the buried lord. This lady did come for them. The lady told Ugly that the buried lord would not protect her, that he would only be hungry, as if the lady understood this lord. The lady unfolded her wings, showing a white and grey pattern in her shadows. This was an angel. The splendor made Ugly fall back, as an angel was an ever rarer sight these days. These decades even. Ugly should apologize for losing hope, as an angel would have wanted unwavering faith. But Ugly could only ask, "Are you here to judge me?" This angel was not a judge. She was more open than that. More accepting and forgiving. Maybe even understanding. Liesa said, "Not to judge. I spoke with demons once. I was wind and silence. Forgive me for watching your sorrow and saying nothing." The angel asked for forgiveness. Liesa did not seem too sorry or taken aback. She stood as a warrior and explained, "The buried lord is silent, but his silence is only to amplify his voice. The only joy in this world is the joy he feels." Ugly had more worldview shattering coming when Liesa, an angel, said, "Your family is dead, and you want to ensure their rest. You too deserve rest in life, and to be heard without bloodshed." Ugly had not expected that her old bones would find rest before death. But the two needed action now. The angel stood and sat back down. She was wounded, and Ugly, a human, would take care of her, which Liesa commended before telling that she had been dead before finding Ugly here. All because of dealings with the buried lord, she had been resurrected. Ugly told her about her own experience in life with the mad angels, vampires and werewolves, and the maddening travails. About the maddening travails, there's one other archangel that survived those. One that is a lot like Liesa. This is Sigarda, the green-white archangel who also stands for those who are lost. Or so Wizards of the Coast says. She does not really like lost people and beings that are really lost though. But when they pray to her, she really likes it because they are so desperate. Sigarda mostly stands for strength and purity, and when something is not strong or pure, she does not like it too much. Still, you do not have to be strong on your own. You can also be strong in groups, and as long as this is you, Sigarda sides with you. Which is why Sigarda left normal humans basically alone now and sided with the witches in the new set. Even though they were a little less pure. Here is where Liesa differs and why Liesa got killed and Sigarda got to live. This is because when avicin was around, all humans were relatively strong, so Sigarda could side with them. But Liesa always looked to protect and hear everyone out in order to protect the ones that were really lost. This is why while Liesa is associated with the moonlight when it's dark, Sigarda is associated with the moon when it's already light. I hope to show that Liesa, while she is a little too open, does value honesty a lot, while Sigarda and her other sisters favored being seen as holy. Another important difference is that Liesa is the only angel to ever honestly smile. Avicin even said that she did not understand the point of smiling, and her only smile was at the moment she was talking about her own madness. Still, do remember that Avicin was not one of the sisters, she was different, and the four sisters would only turn on each other in moments of madness. Otherwise, they would be loyal to each other. Liesa and Ugly walked on, but Liesa's thoughts were with her sister angels. They had never been able to come to an understanding, never even sought to learn why Liesa would seek out the company and conversation of demons, why she might wish to to know how friends navigated the world, what they might teach each other, and now they had been robbed of that chance through the flash of the very forces Liesa sought to understand. Balance through meted violence had been the creed her radiant sisters had lived and died by. All but Sigarda. But that reckoning, or Liesa hoped conversation, would have to wait. If you remember, Liesa had been dealing with demons a lot, and she had done so with the Buried Lord too. When they met after being both resurrected, Liesa confronted the demon. This time was not so friendly. The two were just recovering from being dead, and the demon wanted Ugly's blood to survive. But to Liesa, the life of someone who looks for the impossible was worth everything. It's her own sense of justice to appreciate hope that should be hopeless. In fact, even without hope, like before, Ugly had been defiant. Liesa had found her when she had lost hope, just because it felt like there was no chance, and Liesa had given that chance. She shared that chance, and now she had the opportunity to fly again for the smallest hope. For the forgotten, the abandoned, for the lost. Liesa has only been resurrected because Ugly searched for silence with a demon. Ugly found a new noise of hope. Sometimes we only find light when we lose everything. This is what Liesa stands for, a glimmer. Angels all serve humans, because their hope and their faith gives the angels strength. Liesa had always been forgotten because no one wants to look for a glimmer of hope when they have the burning light of Avacyn. Now after she is gone though, the people need a new glimmer, and this is Liesa's time to find that spark. But Liesa was the angel who had been dealing with Eldrazi and demons. She was not one for blind faith, so she reacts to it with, "It is not your fealty I seek, but an alliance. Not to bring stifling silence, but peaceful balance to this wounded world. A chorus of voices known and heard. Ugly forged this alliance with, as I breathe and hope, my Lady Liesa, you have me as your ally." And so, the second honest Archangel was reborn. Not one that looks for good acts. This is one that looks for every voice and seeks a balance, something that Avacyn was supposed to bring. Liesa, while not being good or evil, is an honest entity that fits her world perfectly. Thank you for watching.